My name is Adam Cross, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in Southern California. And today I want to talk to you about therapy as substitute parenting. So, one thing I encounter a lot in therapy, which isn't uncommon at all, is parents that bring their children into therapy in hopes of something changing, right? Again, pretty common. Concerned parent wants to get their kid help, brings them into therapy. But one thing I do encounter sometimes is this idea, right? And this could be a parent of a middle schooler, young adult, or even an adult in their 30s. And the parent brings them in and sometimes, not directly, not in these exact words, but says, fix my kid. And in some ways, parents can bring their kids in with this idea of like, my kid needs a male figure in his life. My kid doesn't have a father, right? Or doesn't have a lot of support. So do what you do, right? Kind of fix this kid that I'm bringing to you. And there is that kind of dynamic. And sometimes even as therapists, there can be this pressure, like where parents are like, hey, we really don't like this. And we need you to fix this. And we need you to fix this in this amount of sessions or this amount of time and go for it. Sometimes it's not really even checking in where the kid is at all, what the kid needs, how the kid's feeling about it. I've had plenty of kids come into therapy, a lot of teens that just don't want to be there. And luckily, in a very good way, they're often surprised by therapy because it's somebody that is willing to listen to them. It's somebody that takes their thoughts and their feelings into account when they might feel pressured or like they feel like they're going to be forced to change something about themselves or change a behavior or even be forced to agree with their parents. And therapy really, again, isn't about fixing a kid. It's not about being a substitute parent. It's not just about correcting behavior or discipline in some way. Now, therapy is about transformation. It is about changing how we live, and there may be a behavioral change, but the goal of therapy isn't to fix a kid. It's not to have that extra parental figure or authority figure to say this is wrong, you shouldn't be doing this, but it's about building a relationship with ourselves. And so for teens, when parents bring their child into therapy, it's helping the child build a self-awareness. Why are you doing what you're doing? Your parents are concerned about you. They love you so much, and they're bringing you to therapy because they're concerned about these things. Let's unpack that. Let's understand that. And so as a therapist, I'm not trying to correct or discipline, but I'm helping them to build that relationship with themselves to understand, why am I doing this? And most of the time, if it's a negative behavior, it's something that's causing tension, they don't want to be doing that, right? They want to be, but they often lack the healthy coping skills to do something better, to deal with whatever they're experiencing or feeling. So many examples of that, right? I think the easiest example that comes to my mind is if parents bring their teen in because their teen is smoking weed, and the parents are upset and you need to fix this, he needs to not be doing this isn't okay, this is against our beliefs, this is wrong. And they're very, against this, which makes sense, right? They're concerned about their teen, it's not healthy for them. In therapy, we are going to take some time to understand what's behind smoking. Why are we relying on this? What started this? We might get to the anxieties, the fears behind it that they don't know how to cope with. And so they turn to an escape like smoking weed that is going to alleviate some of the anxiety temporarily so that they can understand that they're self-medicating and that there's other options, that they can do other things to help relieve the stress without changing their mental state with the substance. Therapy is substitute parenting. It's not about coming in and fixing. It's not about authority. It's not about an overnight, change. But it is about slowly understanding why your child does what your child is doing, why they're thinking how they're thinking, feeling how they're feeling. And they begin to change. They want to change. But it's not about just fix my kid. So, long story short, if you're a parent watching this and you're thinking, I'm going to take my kid to therapy because this isn't okay, it's not going to be an overnight solution. And no therapist can guarantee a change. No therapist can say, I can fix this in your kid, because that's not a healthy way to do therapy. But how can we help your teen, your child, build that self-awareness, build a deeper understanding of themselves, and build healthy coping skills to deal with whatever it is that they're dealing with? So it's all about that relationship in therapy. And I will say too, as a male therapist, we live in a world where there's not a lot of dads present in children's lives. And so, that comes up a lot in therapy as a male therapist. It's relating to men, and having that experience in therapy can mean a lot. It's not a substitute for a parent, but the therapeutic relationship is powerful. And having someone, again, to validate how you're feeling, understand where you're coming from, and to help you along the way without trying to, force things on you, can make a world of a difference. In a lot of ways, that's what Jesus did. He let the children come to him. He walked with people. He listened to people. And he helped them see themselves in a new light. He helped them see themselves as beloved sons and daughters of the Father. So that's what therapists have the ability and the opportunity to do when parents bring their kids into therapy, to help the kid be reminded of who they are, even in the midst of their struggles, even in the midst of tensions in the home because of things that have happened, that they can have someone to listen to them, to guide them, to walk with them, and to remind them of their true identity. So, is therapy a substitute for parenting? Absolutely not. Totally different. But there's a real impact and power with the relationship that comes with it, and the power of building a relationship with ourselves where we truly are able to understand ourselves and see us, maybe for the first time, how God sees us and how God loves us. If you have any questions on that, please leave them below, comments, and I really appreciate any video suggestions you have, but please give this video a like and a share, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and God bless.